And so I knew I was going to have fun from the start. He led me to my room where I met my roommate, Thomas Cardin, who actually goes to Brunswick High School. So it was nice to meet somebody from this area immediately. We talked for 2 hours, and then we went downstairs where everybody was talking to each other. You didn't know anybody, pretty much, except from wherever your charter was. And you had to go up to people, and I think I improved on, starting conversations with people I never met on that. And then, after that, we had fun. Around 9 o'clock at night, we had an intense game of tag with glow sticks in the dark. So, and whether you were in or out of shape, people played, and it was great. And so, classes began the next day early in the morning. The first class was by Mrs. Giggets, the most impressionable person there. And she expected you to act correctly and all that stuff, but she made you go beyond that and made you look her in the eyes and smile and speak to her. And she said, you could tell a lot about people from first impressions. She stressed customer service as the important thing in getting a successful business, and that was good to learn because I didn't think it really mattered that much, to tell you the truth. In today's, you don't see much customer service going on. And then the second class came and went by, and then we had lunch. We went in their cafeteria and sat around tables of 8 or 9, and it was good. And the second class that made the most Mr. Kirsch, who taught motivation, and he was the soccer coach there, and so he knew a lot about how getting people to do what they need to do, but he expected you to do it yourself somewhat too. And he was very enthusiastic. Sometimes he was a person who would get in your face basically, and so and some people he scared, I imagine. And then I also saw Brenda, a girl that I knew since 8th grade, and that was nice to know somebody already there. And she was probably the smartest girl there. The second day, for fun, we went outside and played a game of frisbee, except we get the frisbee down the field as fast as you can. And our team won, but some competitive sides came up in some people. And then after that, we got to rest in our rooms for a break. Some people had their classes, but I got to rest. And then I met Mr. Bill Hale, and he was the person the longest there teaching the classes. He helped start RYLA, and he was approaching 80s to 90s, yet he was very lively. He had a lot to say. He could have talked forever, and people would have still listened to him. And he taught about mostly focusing on yourself and learning about yourself, and some of the stuff was really great. He gave us this thing, which he had a lot of resources we could use to bring home with us. That was good. And then we learned about and then we learned from Bernie Moore about global citizenship. And his class was the funnest because we sat around this little ring, and he had these note cards, and you passed them out one by one across to all the people, and they had job description on them. And I ended up with chairman for some reason. I don't know. It was just random. And we had to figure out what to do, whether to have this plant here, a chemical plant here or here, and talk about it and make sure it fits everybody and nobody's upset. Some compromises had to be made, and it lasted pretty much the entire hour and a half. And it taught me about you need to consider everybody, and it was also hard trying to get everybody to say something and find out what they wanted, because it was some people didn't say, some people overly said. Well, okay. And And then that day we had a scavenger hunt. And Ryan, our resident advisor who led our group, we had about 15 to a group. There was 4 groups. He had so many great ideas, and we went all over the Douglas campus, taking these funny pictures. And we came in second, unfortunately, but it was still fun. And also met Blaine, who was awfully like me. He was in my group Y, and he played baseball like I did. And I learned that he went to an all-boys school, which was different, if you know what I mean. And he had one parent, but evidently, and she was fine, but he was staying at an all-boys school. And to start the end of the conference, the final speech that morning was given by I think Mrs. Giggets again, and she had us 10 things that we need to take with us, and they were good. You needed, but I don't. And then we saw a PowerPoint about everything we did, and they were supposed to, I don't know, send the PowerPoint to me, but I guess they didn't. And then I have to say what I learned the most was meeting other people, and trying to relate to them more and not being so shy about going up to somebody you don't know, and even if they're in a group conversation, getting yourself into it without seeming pushy. Thank you.
A little bit about yourself now.
About myself, what I do?
A little bit about yourself, yeah.
Okay, I'm Josiah Wright. I go to McIntosh County Academy. I play football, baseball, and I want to be a civil engineer when I grow up, because it has a broad. You can do practically anything in the engineering field. You have to choose one or a couple of them. And let's see.
Any grades?
Oh, I make all A's.
He does better than that.
And what grade will you be going into this year?
I will be going into the 12th grade. And so.
He is either the number 1 person in his class in the grade or the number 2, but if he's number 2, I doubt it. He does that well.
I've been to other, leadership stuff, but this one was the funnest, definitely. And I would like to thank y'all for sending me there and giving all your support.
Tell them how you want, what your plans are to see the world after you graduate.
Yes, I want to go using civil engineering to go other places and build things, maybe as a missionary or something. That would be good, but I also want to make money too.